we're back finally after a long and eventful night here at the Maxwell compound. We're gonna kick this episode off with something new. We call it story time. Before we get into meat and potatoes of today's episode, we got a cool, eventful, and funny story. So be sure to stick around for the story. However, before we kick this story off, I want to start this episode off by saying happy birthday to my dad. Give him a quick shout out, everybody. Wish him happy birthday in the description below. He has made it to the age of 59. Don't know how. Tough fucker. Don't know how he's made it all the way to 59. But anyway, happy birthday to my dad, Mr. Larry Maxwell Sr. But anyway, moving on today. His birthday does tie into today's story. So anyway, to kick this story off, I got off work early today, about 2 p.m. With my boy across the table, Mr. Tony D. Comes scoops me and my other homie. Ride down. If you guys have ever rode down a liquor store and forgot your fucking wallet, please let me know in the comments below. Please let me know in the comments below, because I felt like a total asshole driving all the way to the liquor store and then being like, oh yeah, I can't buy it once I get up to the line because fuck, I don't have my ID. And you look like you're about to fucking kill me.
Dude, I was furious. I'm sitting there with my ID out, money in my hand, like I'm ready to leave. This lady's like, I need everybody's ID.
Yeah, note that there was 3 of us.
It's a Monday afternoon.
What high school kid if you're a high school kid who fucking parties at fucking, please let us know.
Please let me know, like, if your life is so fucking great that you can party on a Monday afternoon in high school, let me know. If you're underage partying on Monday, please let me know, because I feel like there's absolutely zero reason to have my ID checked. My ID, I guess, but y'all too is kind of over the top, I think.
So anyway, we get booted out of there, and then funny enough, we go outside and go get gas and try to come back and try again. Tony goes in by himself this time with a pretty hillbilly redneck disguise. Didn't work.
Immediately found out. Lady bitched me out as I'm walking out the door. I said some nasty shit to her back, left, go to another ABC store, buy a bottle of tequila. Very uneventful in there. Get back to the crib, present the present and begin festivities. Fantastic evening leading up to about 9:30 in the evening.
Was it that fucking early?
It was pretty early when it's all just started going downhill.
So we get the alcohol. We got my dad a pretty big, hefty $50 bottle of 1800 tequila. We come back and we start festivities. My dad's cooking dinner, and everything's going good. Get a text and then get a call from Steven, and he has his YouTube channel, and his will be in the description below. So, if you're wondering why we're late on getting this episode out, he is the reason why. We're going to get into that right now. So anyway, we go scoop him. Everybody's scrunched up, and there's 5 of us in this little Ford fucking Focus, scrunched up as fuck. Come back. The soiree is really going. So our boy, Steven, thought it would be funny and cool to drink 3-4 shots of tequila and start off heavy and not pace himself.
Off rip, walks in the crib. Larry's in the back on the phone talking to family, and off rip, this kid's just throwing down shots. I'm sitting there looking at him like, damn, dude, like, I'm pacing myself. This is maybe my 3rd margarita all night, and you're just pounding it. So he comes in. He's looking at me like, I don't need salt. I don't need a chaser. Oh, that's for pussies. Maybe within the hour, he was pretty rickety wrecked.
Yeah, he was like a inebriated, drunk college freshman female chick on the bathroom floor, except he didn't make it to the bathroom floor. So anyway, he gets pretty wrecked, and we're all trying to just chill out and play video games, have a good time, and he just goes off the wall, man, and just gives up on the video game, starts talking a bunch of bullshit.
There were points I don't know if I was not listening or if he was just so drunk that his words weren't English.
Don't be that guy who pauses the game to tell another story. Tell your story as you play the game. That you can talk and play the game. Don't be that guy who constantly stops the game to talk. Like, it just causes people not to give 2 fucking shits about what you have to say. But so he gets pretty out of control. I try to calm him down. We all try to calm him down. And so anyway, he's like, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go get more tequila and all this. So I went and hid the tequila, and he leaves. And he ends up at my driveway's pretty long. He ends up at the end of my driveway. So we go and I literally carry him, and he's a lot bigger than I am, into the house and put him on this bed in my guest room.
He stumbled to the driveway, made it to the end of it, and literally fell on his face in a ditch. And that's when I told him, just get up, go inside, lay down, go to sleep, and shut the fuck up. What does he do? Continues to mumble and talk about, I'm going to get you guys money. Dude, I don't need money. Just go to sleep.
Weed dealers don't give weed and money for free. But anyway, we get him on the bed. And, and we shut the light off, shut the door. We go back to finish our game of Madden. We finish the game of Madden, and we look at each other like, yeah, maybe we should check on him. And this is where the story gets really good. Kind of shitty, but really good. Good for y'all, bad for us, because we're the victims of this.
So, bedroom setup. There's a bed in the middle of the room. To the left of the bed, little couch, a lot of boxes, and a little empty space in between the couch and the wall. On the right of the bed is literally nothing but open space and a toilet staring you in the face. You can see the bathroom.
If you ever been in a studio apartment, little historical fact about the room, used to be a garage, and it's now like a studio apartment. It's an open room, and then it's got its own bathroom, a little kitchenette, and a closet, just like a studio apartment. So he's laying on this bed in this room in the back part of my house, the back part of my house, excuse me. And so we go check on him. We open up the door, and he's behind the couch in the living room portion of this room. And there's a bunch of boxes because we're slowly starting to pack stuff up because we're moving, and he is puking profusely all over these boxes full of stuff that's not that's not mine or my dad's. It's my brother's. All his stuff from his childhood, VHS tape, all that good stuff, pictures.
So much puke.
And
so much puke and nasty, disgusting.
As soon as we opened up the door, before we can even see what was going on, we opened up that fucking door. We knew. So anyway, we got him up. We got him outside. I took him outside to try to get him in the cold, to wake him up a little bit.
I contemplated waterboarding him. Honestly, the whole way out, the whole way we're just walking.
Hose him down.
Dude, I thought about throwing a blanket over his face or a towel and just waterboarding him for hours until my heart was content with his punishment.
So, got him outside so we can get the rest, whatever throw up he had left in his system, out. And then we go back in and start, looking at what we need to clean up this mess. So I had to get it up. It smelled bad. And as I stated before, we're trying to sell our house. So you can't have puke smell when you're showing your house to guests. So you can see why now he's the bad guy and why we got delayed. So we finally was like, all right, we're going to lay him down and then we'll get on cleaning this up. So we got him back in that. We went to go get him back in the house and he's gone. He is nowhere to be found.
I guess this was kind of stupid on our part to just lock him in the backyard and leave him no way inside. But to be fair to us, we were pretty pissed at the moment because we knew we'd be the ones cleaning up.
We were intoxicated as well, but we were fully competent of we were fully aware and competent of what was going on. So we're like, well, we got to do something about this smell. Fuck him. And I know it sounds bad. But honestly,
it was 50 degrees last night. It was fine.
Well, it wasn't the temperature; it's the fact that we're letting somebody that we hang out with, walk around drunk that we don't know where it's at. He can get hit by a car, he can get robbed, get picked up by the police. So anyway, I thought he went and just laid down in my car. My car's unlocked, and he's gotten drunk and fallen. That's a whole nother story. So we start working on getting this smell out and this puke out, and eventually we give him a call, and he lets us know that he is safe. He is at a local gas station waiting to be picked up to be taken home. He's awake. He's starting to sober up. So here comes the fun part of trying to get this puke out, and I'm not going to discuss you guys with details, but when I say it smelled like a dolphin's ass, it smelled like a fucking dolphin. It was horrible. It looked like some micro dirty jobs type shit. So eventually, between 2:30 and 6:30 this morning, we finally got most of it up. And we're like, it's time to go to bed. We got the smell out, little bleach, little ammonia, little powdered carpet cleaner. We got the smell out. So we finally got the smell out. We all go to bed, and we wake up this morning, we clean it up, and bam, we're finally fucking recording. But in that story, there's a little piece that ties into what we're going to talk about in today's episode. We finally got our, when that whole thing was going on, we finally got a chance to play the new UFC 3. And we're here to do a review on it. We played it, and we're like, yeah, we got to do an episode on this shit.
It's pretty fantastic. I was a big fan of UFC too.
That was a hefty prologue.
That the initial like tutorial bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot. It was a lot of video of Conor just being Conor McGregor, I guess, and his whole story of trying to become the greatest UFC fighter, whatever. Honestly, still fantastic. Like I love the new the new punching mechanics, the boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty fantastic. I was pretty sad I didn't get a single flying knee in yesterday though. I'm usually pretty big about spamming that.
Yeah, it seems like they got a lot. They complexed a lot of it down. I liked. I didn't necessarily like the new blocking mechanic, but I can see where they're going with it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind for like a little blocking action on the right thumb, on the right thumbstick. I think that could work.
It's like using that to like.
Yeah, you can use the analog to like angle your blocks and stuff, or like angle like what part of the body you're blocking from. It's just an idea. I don't know if it would actually work. I'm not a game developer. I'm a podcaster, but it's an idea.
Amateur podcaster.
I thought the fighter selection was a little dry. I feel like last year had a lot more fighters.
I think the fighters, probably the numbers about the same. I haven't looked at any of it, but I was pretty upset that the proud people of Ukraine were not properly represented. I saw one Ukrainian fighter, and just that was it.
That was a female bantamweight fighter, right?
Yeah, Marina. I forget her name. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to Google it. But she is. I spent a little bit of time in Ukraine. I was very, very happy to learn that culture and be around it and embrace it. So usually if I see a UFC fighter from Ukraine, I'll pick them up and just see what I can do with them for a minute.
So yeah, the mechanics are I think are a lot better.
Marina Moros.
Is that who it was?
That's who it was.
She's a bantamweight.
Bantamweight. She's from Ukraine. She lives in Chicago now.
What's her record? And what's her MMA record?
You're asking me to look through a lot of shit, dude.
Well, if you know it, please let us know in the comments. We're kind of ill-informed about records, but anyway, moving on. So, what was your favorite point? What was your favorite new feature of UFC 3 versus UFC 2?
I definitely like the boxing mechanics a lot more. I'm not relying mostly on throwing kicks and hoping that a really big one's going to land. I really dug the jabs and the uppercuts. Was a lot simpler. I just enjoy the boxing mechanics overall. I think it was the best thing for me personally, as that's just my style of fighting, I guess, is I'm going to throw more punches.
So to wrap this little quick review up, out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
4.1 out of 5.
Really?
Yeah,
I'd give it a solid 4. I'd give it about 4.3 out of 5. It wasn't horrible.
No, it was definitely a great UFC game. Like I thought there was a lot improved on UFC 2, and it's going to be learning the new blocking for me. It's probably going to be the make or break if I can learn that better.
Now, was that new UFC 3 game better than that fucking press conference this morning? Or this afternoon?
I'm not as biased as you, so I'm going to say yes. But there was a lot more savagery in that press conference.
And if you guys don't know what press conference we're talking about, of course we're talking about new head coach of the Colts, Frank Reich, being introduced today as our brand new head coach. And Jim Irsay, man, he sounded drunk introducing him today.
Dude, I was wondering how many Xanax he had.
Like after us. It was getting annoying. But, Chris Ballard gets up there, and Chris Ballard does Chris Ballard things and just speaks truth and speaks with honesty and humbleness. And then they finally get Frank up there. The questions were the best.
I definitely love the last question that was dropped by Pat McAfee of Barstool Heartland. What was the question?
Do you hate Josh McDaniels? What's your feelings towards Josh McDaniels? And he says, what did Frank say? I was better.
The backup role has always suited me.
The backup role has always suited me. So Gave him a little big dick Nick line right there. Ha ha ha! We got you in a we got you in a Super Bowl. I thought it was pretty savage. But yeah, I think Frank, what we had to say, what he had to say today about being tougher, stronger, more disciplined.
I liked a lot of the points he brought up about what he wanted to establish as a coach for his team, and I think you have a very great nucleus in your big three positions as GM, coach, quarterback. You have a wonderful nucleus moving forward as a Colts fan. I think you have a lot to look forward to in the next 3 to 5 years.
And with him, being that lead role in that big comeback against the Oilers when he played quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, he's a quarterback-minded coach. He was our quarterback coach, back when Peyton Manning was around. Tony Dungy, he was an intern. He was a quality control coach and all this. So he's got history with us. He has the right mind. He has a discipline. He did announce today that he is going to call the plays, the offensive plays, and the defensive plays. So I think we got somebody in there with the right mind, the right heart, and the humbleness to get us back to the winning culture that we were. I'm just glad it's Chuck Pagano's gone.
I think it'll be.
Why am I whispering? That's not a fucking secret. Quick. Chuck Pagano's a great guy. Had a lot of respect. He was humble. Just some people are not made out to be head coaches.
Y'all were all about him when it was Chuck Strong. What do you have, leukemia or something?
Yeah, he had leukemia. I mean, of course, when your coach is in the hospital with leukemia, of course you're going to come around him.
And then Bruce Arians ended up giving you all the playoffs and whatever have you. And he had his great legacy. But, no, I definitely, like I said, there's definitely a great nucleus going forward. If you can build a team around Luck, I think you have a great offensive-minded coach that's definitely going to propel him and their standings within the NFL. Like, they were mostly dead last on offense. From what I noticed,
between
graphics.
Between yardage per game and points allowed or points put up per game.
It was all pretty close to the bottom.
It's between 30 and last, so between 30 and 32.
Yeah. All of them were pretty close to the bottom. I think that definitely changes when you get Luck back, and I think with this offensive-minded coach and a GM that seems to be very team-oriented and about building around and one step at a time, I definitely think you'll have a lot to look forward to.
Let's have some fun here before we wrap this episode up and do a quick rankings. Let's do the top 5 new head coaches. Where you think they're gonna stack up, as far as 5 being worse, number 1 being best. Who would you give the 5 spot to? I say Matt Nagy from the Chicago Bears. I think he gets the 5 spot.
I think he just has a pretty shite team to look at apart from the defense. But like I said, I mean, anybody can do better, but that's a pretty horrible division to be in right now.
Yeah, with Aaron Rodgers. So we give the 5 spot to Nagy. 4 spot, I think I give to Matt Patricia.
I think that's really low. I think that's horribly low. I'd put him at least 3 or 2.
3 or 2? So who would you give 4 to?
It's hard. I mean, you're looking all over the league. I mean,
Schumer? New head coach for the
Giants, yeah.
Giants.
I would definitely put him at 4.
So we'll go
same thing with the Nagy, because you're just in a division where everybody's good.
So we'll go Nagy, Schumer, Patricia, 2. Who's your 2?
I mean,
I'm gonna go on a limb and say, and this is gonna get a lot of people riled up. I'm gonna say.
Wait, who's Tennessee's new head coach?
Tennessee's new head coach. Oh man, they got a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator from I forgot.
Tennessee. Because
I totally forgot they got a new head coach.
I think that's going to be a pretty good. I was pretty shocked they fired him. I understand like the ownership's pretty new and that wasn't their guy.
Well, they just weren't moving in the direction that they were.
They were in the playoffs. I mean,
you can still be in the playoffs and not be in moving in the right. Moving in the direction that you want to move into. But honestly, if I had to give a 2 spot, I would.
Wow. I'm pretty shocked at this move. Breaking news: Mike Vrabel was named the head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was Vrabel. It was Vrabel. So yeah, I
screw that. Vrabel 3, Patricia 2, and then I put number 1 Frank Reich.
Really, you're gonna give number 1 spot to Frank Reich? What about?
Oh yeah, dude.
Where would you put John Gruden in the in the Oakland
I didn't
raid?
even think. Oh, that one slipped my mind. Oh, new top 5. No. Gruden. I don't know. He's been away for a while. He wasn't.
He's got a quarterback.
He has a quarterback. I don't know, dude. He just pretty. They have a stellar offense. He's definitely a quarterback-minded coach. If you watched any of Gruden's quarterback camps over the years.
Oh yeah, Andrew Luck one, of course, is my favorite.
The spider banana, whatever.
Spider 2Y banana.
Definitely. Gruden's up there. I mean, I didn't even think of him. Vrabel I thought was going to be up to. Jeez, that ruins my whole landscape of top 5. But I definitely put Frank Reich number 1. Frank Reich above all.
So let's go through it again before we wrap this up. So number 1 we got Frank Reich. Number 2
probably Gruden, Patricia 3, Vrabel 4,
Schumer 5.
Schumer 5. Yeah.
Yep. I
fuck the Bears.
They got a long.
I think they're definitely in for another mediocre season at best. Maybe 8-8 is probably the best thing they'll look at. But I was dead wrong about the Eagles, so I could be dead wrong about the Bears.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's time to wrap this one up. All the social media links for us will be in the description below, so be sure to go give us a like, give us subscribe, and comment some topics, guys. Whatever you want to hear the two Robots talk about in the Maxwell compound here in the TRB labs. Go in and drop topics. We're open to talk about anything. And we will have a Patreon coming really, really soon. I had some messages from some subscribers about Patreon. We will get that up probably sometime in the next few weeks. And a website's coming as well. And then hopefully down the line we'll get some merch up for you guys. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. And this is the Two Robots podcast. And we are out.